Welcome back to part number 13 of my Seleukid Empire playthrough for Imperator Rome. We just finished a series of cascading wars up through Gaul and Germania. We had some claims here, but timeliness and my disappearing navy, I sent it up here, 440 ships, and it must have just sat there taking attrition damage is my best guess. And I didn't even know. Either that or it was a bug. Whatever the case is, we've recovered from that, rebuilding various navies. I have 42 ships here at present. Building out to it from these various areas here. I'm going to consolidate them in this port. And we'll be ready to transport over to the British Isles. We'll have a local navy. Many of these mercs have evacuated. I headed them down here, shipped some of them from here to Paris area, and then they're making their way over from there over here. I'm building another navy here. Presently I have 601 ships, so our navy has recovered. We don't make as much money as I have been accustomed to, but we're still running positive and have a prudent reserve, as it were. I dropped off some units here. They're making their way over to Moria. This unit is, of course, making its way over there as well. There are some units here in various states of ferrying their way over to Syria, where they'll disembark and head over to Moria. There's stragglers here that were up pretty far up here in Scandinavia. And they're making their way down here to where we'll pick them up with our new navies. This one, of course, is headed there as well. This guy is just mulling about. Maybe we'll send him up there as well. That's about the size of it. When they're to Moria, I will probably pick up the feed again, and we'll just declare this Imperial Challenge War. We have a couple of claims available. Imperial Challenge is actionable. It looks as though we have he has some client states, etc., feudatories or whatnot internally. It looks as though some of these countries have consolidated, and he's at war with the Wusan. I figure if we file claims on both, we should be good to go one way or the other, at least in theory. Any other claims can be filed here? None. We have a claim against Armenia, I believe. We do. Do we have one here? We have our cold cheese one, which we didn't use the first time through. We have a claim here. This revolt will be done by the time we get back. I don't think we have any claims here. We don't. We need one right now. Not really, no. I have one in Maine. Bulimia is still associated with Egypt. I can't file on Kush. And that looks to be about the size of it. I'm going to save my PI. There's some wonders that probably are available to be improved at some point. This one here, our conquering traditions, siege tradition, and retaliation procedure is almost upgradable. I'm going to wait. I know we have a 200 research efficiency. We're not going anywhere very quickly. We have a ahead of time malice 75%. So I wonder what would happen. We get a little bit more money, and we're still pegged at 200%, so good for us. We've landed here. I need to make my way back over to pick up those other armies. There's some... Let's take a report here and see where the need is. I think probably is up here. There's a lot of armies and just only 89 ships so far. Where are you going? He's going there as well. These units have made it. I need to deploy them or get them marching over towards Moria. There's a lot of bells and whistles and things going on here. Believe it or not, we actually need the money, so I'll take it. Our leader's getting up there. I'm going to take the full for 10 corruption. We'll take 6 stability as well, surely. Well, I got some sleep. I woke up in the morning, took a look at this map, and put things in perspective. Since returning to Imperator, I've done 3 world conquests. On my way to a 4th. We have 35 mercs. We have some very strong legion count here at 209 with the proper siege configuration here with 9 engineers each. We have the ability to call up a lot of levies over toward Moria, Mesopotamia, Ariana, Persis, Assyria, Media. All of those can be broken up into even 1 stacks to carpet siege Moria. We have a lot of manpower. We have a lot of PI. We have a lot of military experience. I'm not seeing how this just doesn't end in a slaughter. And it was fun sort of figuring out. I'd always realized that you could go here and mop it up quickly. I knew that. I knew you could steal mercs as well, but actually going here before Moria seems to be a go-to strategy or a viable strategy to acquire a bunch of mercs to if you have the money. So if you save Moria for last and are prone to have the War of the Spear or have the ability and have gone down that path, I think going to Gaul and stealing all those mercs is probably a really good idea. It's a decent strategy to deal with Moria because they can have a lot of levies, and if you don't go to cohorts, these mercs can, fill in the gap and whatnot, as it were. There's not a lot, provided you have, a decent technology level. There's not a lot here that you need on the way to cohorts. There's some discipline and whatnot. There's a couple of reinforcement speed, 5%, etc. But it's not really all that much relative to morale, relative to shattering armies and just having manpower to where you can carry on. I don't really like that, and you don't have to take cohorts if you have all these mercs and whatnot. You know, we had just the Royal Army in play the entire game, and we've done well enough. Theoretically, on a strategic level, rather naturally or organically, the fringes here are challenging to get at. So if you stick to the center, usually, then you can, as is again natural or organic, you can go over. You can bank a lot of money, build a lot of stuff. Essentially, we've been able to build a grand theater essentially everywhere. I wouldn't be surprised if we had temples everywhere as well. Well, not everywhere, but that's mostly because we Hellenize so quickly because of our formulatic worship and our conversion law. What are our loyalties? I imagine they're quite high. Let's see. Most of them are coming down. Then again, why are they down? Like this area here, per se, it's down because there are no cities, probably. Yeah, just because it's in the middle of nowhere, no cities, and probably has yet to Hellenize. It's true. They're all Druidic. They'll Hellenize, nevertheless. Anyway, as I was saying, if you leave these guys until the end and then just take them out in a very short period of time, you'll note I make no money. But I was making like 500 or 600 per for the longest of time because of my wonders that I made and the tax structure or economic structure that I have. So I can afford these 35 mercs. So I can spend the money, build the infrastructure, carry on, and do a normal sort of building game, and at the end, close it out, boom. Take these guys out, hire a bunch of their mercs, and then swing back over here and take them out with the mercs, etc., levies, and just the Royal Army. So, I think I learned something in this game. I probably always knew it, but I had as yet to really internalize it. Will I use it again? Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I think that's a decent end for the series. Let's check some statistics. Looks like we have about 37,000 pops, 3,700 territories. Our capital region of Macedonia has 4,400 pops, and our capital territory has 28 pops. These cities got pretty big. This one, Pella, it's about 700 or thereabouts, or has a decent migration attraction. Lots of nobles and citizens and such in these areas. Well, that's about the size of it, actually. Hope you enjoyed the series, and I hope to see you in the next one.